Hey guys, Order 5 here with episode number 24 of the Crystal Palace career mode on FIFA 23. We're kicking it off, seeing that Martial is on 26 Premier League goals. Coming into this game against Watford, I mean, there's a chance he could break it in this game, you know? That's how good he's been this season until 2 minutes into the game. He goes down, stays down, he's holding his knee. There's only one injury that it can be. It is that damn ACL injury. That's 7 months on the sideline for Anthony Martial. His best season of his career halted just as it looked to be kind of become record breaking. That's it, just is hit by a cruel injury. He's going to be out for the remainder of the season. He's going to be out for the beginning of next season as well. So it kind of asks the question, do we sign a backup striker? What do we do? It kind of throws a bit of a wrench into our transfer plans, but we do continue our pursuit for European football, and we do that by going 1-0 up here against Watford. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is that man. But yeah, 7 months out, 26 goals this season. I think he's got 24, 23 games played with 26 goals. There's still about 10 games left in the league. He definitely would have broken it. He definitely would have broken the record. But now, there's even a chance now that he won't finish as top goal scorer. Mo Salah is only a few goals behind him, and he's got all the time now to catch up. So it's unfortunate. Yeah. That's FIFA though. 7 months. It happens to Loftus-Cheek last season. He came out and he's not quite been as good since he come back. Has Loftus-Cheek not as many goals? Maybe it's because he's been replaced by Fletcher. Maybe Martial will be replaced by Edouard, you know. But a lucky deflection for Watford does allow them to get back on two level terms in this game. And, you know, I'm still thinking about the Martial injury at this point. Got to get over that. Got to stop thinking about that, and we've got to get into this game. So what we do, at halftime, we sub on Elise for Harvey Vale. And almost instantly, he goes and puts the ball home. We're going to need Elise, we're going to need Fletcher, Edouard, Eze, we're going to need them all to stand up whilst Martial's out. And it looks like they're doing that, especially in this second half of this game. As the ball's played into Eze, he strikes it. Unfortunately, it's saved. Edouard's shot is also blocked. But yeah, just like when Zaha went down last season, we need them to step up, and they're doing exactly a lovely bit of step over action there. Sends the defender the wrong way, cuts inside, slots it past the keeper, and he goes and makes it 3-1, getting another goal in this game. One for him, one for Elise, and one for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. But now, we're not done there. Newly promoted team, we want to be spanking them as much as we can. We want to be scoring as many goals as possible. As Eze lays it off to Edouard. Edouard's going to lay it inside the Loftus-Cheek edge of the box, outside the boot. Just a bit of Travella flair. Didn't quite work out. Still 3-1. But Eze, from just inside the box, hits the crossbar. We've hit the crossbar, I think, 3 or 4 times in the previous 2 episodes. So that's not too good for us. We've got to, start putting the ball a little bit lower and hitting it into that top bins instead. But Ruben Loftus-Cheek does make it 4-1. And after the disappointment of what happened 2 minutes into this game, we seem to have kind of spent the other 88 minutes absolutely dominating Watford right to the very end, because in the 90th minute, Eze goes and gets his second goal of the game, makes it 5-1, secures all 3 points against Watford at home, in front of the fans. They could have been sad. They saw him go down, they saw him stay down, but then they were given a very, very nice, a very, very entertaining game of football against Watford. But you can see there, 7 months injury for Martial. He's going to be out, and it's just a real shame, because the injuries seem... We haven't had any really kind of small minor injuries here or there. We've had the 3-month broken toe twice for Wilf Zaha. We had the 7-month ACL injury for Loftus-Cheek. Now we've got the same for Anthony Martial, and it's just a real shame. I would, love like a 2-week injury, something like that. But we're coming into this game against Fulham. They are, well, they're not newly promoted. They stayed up last year. They stopped the rot of them going down every single year. And we will finally get to see Fulham versus Norwich. But 20 minutes into the game, Edouard skips past their striker, their defender, and he makes it 1-0. And that is exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to just pick up basically where Martial left off, and 36 minutes in, he doubles his goal tally, and he makes it 2-0. He's on for the hat-trick, and he seems to have perfectly replaced his countryman in that striker position. They are both actually the same rating. They're both an 82 overall, so that's really helpful for us. And in the 43rd minute, Eze, he wants in on the action. Lovely bit of skill on the edge of the box. Sometimes you're going to kind of stop. There's a lot of dilly-dallying you can see on the edge of the box. We don't know when to shoot. We don't know what to do. Trying to find some space. Sometimes you've just got to kind of shoot it, and that's exactly what Fletcher's going to do here. And it is going to fire the back of the net. He's going to make it 3-0. He loves that Trivela shot. Kind of Trivela chip type shot. Scored one against Leeds last season. And he's going to do the same here against Fulham, making it 3-0. And pretty much securing all 3 points for us at half-time. Because we have been very dominant. We have kept the ball, as you can see, 65% of the time. Harvey Bale plays the ball over the top to Eze. He strikes it just over the crossbar. And from that result goal kick, I'm showing you this goal kick for a reason. Aribo nods the ball to Eze, looking to get the better of Issa Diop. He goes down. He stays down. He's holding the knee. He's slamming the floor in pain. And I think you know what to expect when you see this. He's forced off. As I said, he's holding the knee. Referee calls on the stretcher, the medical team. And he just falls down, stays down. And in back-to-back games, it is back-to-back ACL injuries for our 2 best players this season. We've now lost our striker, we've lost our winger. It's going to be a difficult end to this season to try and combine for the output. Our 2 best players, our 2 most productive players are out for this season. And again, the beginning of next season, they will both be out for 7 months with the same injury. And it's a real shame that they don't get to be part of the potential success at the end of this season. And it also punishes me for not signing the backup left winger that I wanted to sign in January. I thought, nah, we'll be fine, we'll be okay. Just a few weeks later, after January, the window closes. We get an injury, 7 months, out for the season. And we are struggling for players. So what we're going to do, we're keeping in the 4-3-3. And if you remember, this man right here on the ball, Alexander Fletcher, used to be a centre forward. So what we're doing, we're going to the false 9-4-3-3. Edouard's going to go on the left-hand side because he can play out there. And Fletcher is going to become the centre forward for this team. Hopefully, that can keep us in the European spots and can push us forward in the FA Cup. Thankfully, if you remember in the previous few episodes, we had Man United and Spurs as our first 2 games in the Cup. Now we've got Sunderland, relatively easy game. We're 2-0 up in the 74th minute. And we're pretty much booking our ticket for the quarterfinals of this competition with a relatively easy victory here against Sunderland, the former Premier League team. Been kind of struggling in the lower divisions for a few seasons now. Their only real chance of the game, or highlight of the highlights, you know what I mean, was a penalty. They did tuck that away, so no clean sheet for Dean Henderson. But 2-1 was the final score. We're going to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And, do it for Martial, do it for Eze. Get that trophy, get that medal. They're still going to get a medal. They've both played in the competition. They're both part of the squad. So they will get a medal if we do win. But we're going to come into the final game of today's episode. We are taking on Nottingham Forest. Now playing that 4-3-3 false 9 in this one. It's the first test for it against Premier League opposition. And it's pretty decent. I personally think yet to get a goal, yet to really test their keeper, but it's really, really good having. It's kind of a diamond in the midfield. You've got the DM, Riedewald, the 2 centre mids, and then you've got the centre forward, which is Alex Fletcher. And this also allows Loftus-Cheek to come back into the team, and he's a goal scorer, so it's just going to be goals galore. Unfortunately, the first goal in this game, though, does come in the 62nd minute for Nottingham Forest. A good save by Dean Henderson, but the backspin causes it to go over his line. as the Notts Forest player goes, or Nottingham Forest, not Notts, Nottingham Forest player runs over to Steve Cooper, because they've got a decent little result on their hand right now. We are sitting pretty in 5th place in the league right now, and a victory here for them would be a very, very, very good one. You know, against the higher league opposition, they're going to be, I think they're safe. They're not in the relegation zone. The relegation zone is actually all 3 of the teams that got promoted last year. They seem to all be going back down. And what did I say earlier on about Loftus-Cheek being a goal scorer? That's his third goal of today's episode. 2 against Watford, 1 against Nottingham Forest. And we're right back in this one now. We've got 20 odd minutes to get a goal to secure a victory here at the City Ground. As we can't quite get out from the back, Aribo loses possession, and there's a real chance here for them to go forward as Jesse Lingard is played through on goal. He's got one man to the side of him. Will he make the pass? He's slowed it down a bit too much, and it has allowed us to get the ball away as Aribo collects it, skips past Mangala, finds our centre forward, our main vocal point in Fletcher, who beats the offside trap, gets the better of Ben Godfrey. He's one-on-one with their keeper Rubio, who actually, when I was looking back at it, he's a regen or a new gen, so he's probably not the highest rated of players, but he does secure us the victory in the final minutes of the game. Our youth academy player stepping up into that centre forward position. You know, it's where he played in the academy. He's come into the first team. He's played in that centre mid position. He's played really well there. But this is what he was doing in the Crystal Palace academy, banging in the goals, securing us that Premier League 2 title. And he goes and makes it 3-1 with a goal straight from their kickoff. 3 points secured thanks to Alexander Fletcher and his ability to bang the goals in Martial's absence. And hopefully he can do that and lead us to some success this season. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. If you have, please like, subscribe, and peace.